Hey everybody, welcome to the DJX podcast. We're gonna do this crazy game of the year thing. People hate game of the year because who the fuck can choose what's the game of the year? And I can tell you who can choose the game of the year. Me, Bobby, Jeff, and Irf. What the fuck's up, guys?
What's up, dudes?
Hello.
Howdy.
So what we're gonna do today is after we talk a little bit about what's going on and why we haven't had an episode in several weeks, we're gonna go through. We have already talked offline about some of our favorite games of the year. We're gonna give a quick like 5 game list of scientifically what we came up with based on what we all voted, and then we're gonna talk about those games and why they're where they're at, and then we're gonna go through and see if we can figure out what the bottom 5 at the top 10 should be. So this should be fun. I personally have been running around all over the place. I went on a long trip to Texas and all kinds of crazy madness. So we really haven't been podcasting. And for anybody that might be listening, we apologize. What have you guys been up to?
I personally can't believe that Earth is even on the podcast. I've been actually just one. I've been actually just wondering where the fuck he's been this whole time.
So now
Playing
Yeah, it's
Fallout
been a
4
while
the
since
entire time.
you've been
it's been
where?
a while
What's that?
since the four of us have been on.
That's true.
Yeah, it has been a while. What'd you say, Earth? Where have you been?
Playing Fallout 4 the entire time.
The entire. So there we have it. Fallout 4 has ruined the
Probably
DJX podcast.
it's probably true. He really loves that game.
Valid. He does love that game. It was very hard for Earth to come up with a top 10 games list when he's only played one game this year.
He put Fallout 4 10 times in a row,
Pretty much, he put Fallout 4, and then he put like
and
those
then
weird.
at the end it was Fallout 3.
No, you know those little weird computer-based mini games you find inside of Fallout 4? Those are his like the remaining games.
And Mass
Some of
Effect
those are
1.
really good, man.
Yeah, the
The
little Donkey Kong
holotapes?
clone. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not bad. Yeah. All right. What about you, Bobby?
Um,
What you been up to, man?
Uh, I've rearranged my living room and my entertainment center is all nice set up.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
mountain
yeah.
everything.
Yep, I love it. It looks awesome.
Sweet. Entertainment's good, so having a good place to consume entertainment is very good.
Yes.
What do you guys say? Uh, what do you guys want to do? You want to jump right into it? You want to talk about some recent game news first, in the sake of us being us?
I'm for game news.
Yeah, let's just, we won't spend too much time on it, but let's just cover some of the quick things. Number one, I guess the thing that everybody's talking about, Star Wars is out.
Oh yeah,
Anyways,
Yeah, I
I can
haven't seen
I
it
can
yet.
vouch for that because I just sat in like 45 minutes of traffic to get out of a parking garage because of Star Wars.
that's cool. Like everybody likes traffic, right?
Yeah. Actually, I might go see it tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Narav is like really, really badly wants to see it.
All
I
right.
want to
So
see it. I want to see it. I just don't want to
yeah,
deal with 1,000 people
That's what I don't want to do.
that want
yeah,
to see
That's why I want to go at like
I'm with you.
unlimited.
it.
Right. Yeah, that's the better idea. But we may go see it tomorrow night just because we have work people in town and they're from out of the country and they want to go see it. So it'd be like an easy thing to do with them and spend some time with them. But I am also not looking forward to sitting with 1,000 rabid Star Wars fans,
Right.
and I don't know what I'm gonna
And
do. So
some of
we'll
them
see.
watching it for the third time, and they're like, "Dude, watch this. This is the best part.
Yeah,
Watch this. Best part
Yeah,
coming
I
up
don't
now."
they're
know.
like
Like, I'd
reciting
I'd
the
go to
movie.
jail.
All right.
I'd go to jail. Shut
From
up!
there.
I heard the Starship Enterprise looks really good in this one.
Right. I heard that too. And the Klingons, they now have a Jedi ship. Yeah. How about this? How about Hideo Kojima, new studio, is working with Sony on an exclusive new game, no title, no info. What do you think about that?
Hmm.
Uh,
I think the
I think,
exclusives are dumb and stupid.
I agree.
whatever. There's exclusives are never gonna go away,
I agree with
and
that
that's
too.
just PC gamer ranting. That's master race talk, if I've ever heard it. Um, but I think it's good. I think you know what? Good. He's not with Konami anymore. Maybe he'll make something different and good. I kind of saw it coming. I mean, that guy's not going to not make games. He
Right,
makes
right.
successful games. So, uh, I wasn't surprised. I just don't think we're going to see anything anytime soon. They don't even know if they're going to use a game engine that's pre-established, if they're going to make a new one. But yeah, I think it's good news.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I think sure. Like I've been very vocal that I haven't been a fan of some of his games, but I really like the last one, so I could deal with that. Uh,
So I played a lot of PT, if that counts.
Yeah.
like
Did you delete that from your PS4 at all ever?
Yeah, I did,
Uh,
unfortunately.
uh yeah, it's
I
gone
saw that
forever now.
some crazy people were selling their PS4s with PT on them for like
yeah, a lot
a
of them,
thousand
a lot of
dollars or something.
hundred
I don't know if anybody
dollars,
bought that shit.
right?
I
A lot of
wonder
yeah,
because I had I well the problem is you got to sell your account. I think I don't know if I
yeah.
actually
Right.
you probably don't
No, you just have to.
because it's
Well,
free.
okay. I can actually tell you because I bought my PS4 secondhand
Oh, that's
from a
right.
gentleman,
It had games installed on it.
and he did. So actually, well, I'll start at the beginning. So he had like 4 or 5 games on it. It had like Tomb Raider, Watch Dogs, one of the Call of Duty games, Don't Starve, and some like other PSN games. And he was like, "Oh yeah, games installed," and I was like, "Whatever. I mean, I can't play those games; they're on your account." And he's like, "Well, I don't know what he said, but I turned it on and they were on there, and I tried to use them and they worked. So I tried to figure it out, and it's because he had the PS4 set as his main PS4, and so
Oh,
I didn't have to log into his account to play them. I could still log into my account and play them on this PS4.
Right.
However, something happened in the last 3 months or something where they maybe updated PSN or they updated the software, and I went to log in and those games
well,
didn't work.
No, he
well,
probably set another
they
PS4 as his main
yeah,
PS4.
and
Could
those
have been
games
that,
have
yeah.
those games, all the games install a license. They install a certificate basically on your machine, and
Right,
then
right, right.
they get revalidated after like I think like 20 days or something like that.
I
So,
had this PS4 like almost a year, and they worked almost the whole time. So I don't know what the
well,
length of time is,
he
but something
probably
happened,
well,
and
I'm
now they
guessing
don't
he
work.
set another
I
PS4 as his main
I
PS4.
think he
It could be
probably
that,
got a job and finally got another PS4. You don't sell your PS4 unless you need money or you don't
Or you
like
just
it.
don't play
Well,
games.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
That would
yeah.
still fall under I don't like it.
Right, right.
Anyway, I considered trying to get him to give me his PSN login, and I think I even asked him at one point. And he just didn't respond, so I was like, whatever. But that was awesome. I beat Watch Dogs on this PS4, and I actually fucking love that game. I might be like one of 2 people.
No, I liked Watch Dogs. I didn't love it, but it was a fun
It
game.
didn't come
I
out this year,
liked
did it?
it, but
No,
they
that's not for this year.
lied. I,
Yeah.
they really fucking oversold what that game was going to look like. It did not look
Yeah.
like they said
They
it was.
showed they showed a
It was
vertical
one of those
slice.
Yeah.
games.
They showed a vertical slice, and they couldn't make the game look that way. You know, it happens all the time. Happened with
No,
Witcher
no,
3.
I get it, but they really did. Well,
Dude, people
see, I
bitch
don't
about
feel
Witcher
like
3. Look at the year before that first look of Witcher 3, and they show some of the parts that you actually see in the game, and it's nothing like what the game came out to be. And Witcher 3
I
looks
need to go look
fantastic.
at it because I find it hard, even if it doesn't look like it. It's just I think it looks great.
No,
I can't, I
that's the
mean,
thing.
it's like,
Witcher 3 looks fantastic, but it's not even fucking close to what they
and
showed.
maybe and I won't deny that if that's the truth, but it's just like what gets me about that, what bothers me is that people are like, "Oh my god, the graphics! Like it's terrible to look at." It's like, get the fuck out of here! Really? Get seriously, it looks phenomenal. I think for an open world game, and you're complaining. It's like better than any open world game out there.
That voice you did
It's
is you
probably
should make that a recurring character. We should call him the complaining gamer that you turn into. And just do it in that voice and complain about stupid shit.
vertical sliced man. But
I
I
did
mean, Witcher
say I
3,
want to
honestly,
make. Go ahead,
it's
Jeff.
probably
Sorry.
like it's probably top 3 best looking games on PS4.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah,
Maybe, I mean, I think you could move that to PC and it still holds. I think it's one of the best looking PC games as well. That game is just a fantastic looking game.
probably. Yeah.
But Metal Gear is also a pretty goddamn beautiful game.
I
I
have
think
that, and I haven't even put it in my PS4 yet.
I do believe that Metal Gear is very good looking. There's some times where you're just like, oh wow, this is really good
Metal
looking.
Gear also
But
cheats quite a bit because
yes,
A, when you get close to stuff, it's not that great. B, there's not a whole lot of different shit. It's like
and
military
there's not a
stuff,
whole lot going on.
yeah, military stuff, bases, and then like nothing but rocks or trees. Like,
Right.
and then there's not a whole lot of logic, like you said, going on. So they kind of cheat. There's a whole lot more going on in Witcher that makes it more complicated, or like Fallout with
Well, I would say there's a lot of logic going on, but
well,
the
yeah, but not like
environment is not as active as in The Witcher. The Witcher's
right.
environment is just what makes it look really awesome.
And
The
there's
characters, sure. I mean, like the
there's
characters in Metal Gear look good, and in let's say Batman and stuff, but in Witcher everything looks good.
and
So
in
it's just comes together
in
well.
Metal Gear, there's zero civilians in that world. Like there's
Yeah.
you and bad guys. That's it. Everyone is bad. You know what? We should be holding this off for Game of the Year. So why don't we just take this moment and rotate into
Yeah, I
Game of
feel
the
like that's
Year.
Woo, yeah.
All right.
Woo.
So what I did was I sent I sent emails out to all the dudes uh, last week, or was it earlier this week, saying, "Hey, let's do Game of the Year. Send me your top games." And then nobody replied for several days. Jeff
I think I
actually
replied the same
replied.
day.
Jeff actually replied fucking 40 minutes ago.
I think it was less than 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So here's what we came up with. Based on where everybody voted, Science came up with a top five, right? So here's the
Science.
DGX Science fucking list, and you can't fuck with Science. The DGX number one game, because of Science, as you could all probably guess, because we've been raving about it all, however long we've been doing this,
Well,
is
most of us.
The Witcher 3. The
I feel
second
like we
game
need the
voted
music.
by Science is Fallout 4. Game number three, voted by Science, is Batman: Arkham Knight. Number four, we have Metal Gear Solid 5, and then finally we have Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is kind of mixing with all the rest of the stuff. So really, we have a top four. Now, is everybody on board with that list, or does anybody have any problems with that list in that order? I'm
I don't
waiting.
think so, but
I'm waiting for Earth. Hold on.
I wonder. Oh,
No, it's a good list. I agree with it.
What?
what?
What just happened?
But
Just
wouldn't
because I
your
personally don't like Witcher 3 doesn't mean it's not one of the most loved games.
Yeah, but don't you want to fight for Fallout 4? You fucking traitor.
Fallout 4 has a lot of issues. Like, I don't even know. Like, it's if there was a better game out this year, it wouldn't. Well, I guess that is obvious, but
so
it's
can we
lucky
talk
there weren't
about
a lot of
Fallout
games
4?
this year.
Well, all right. Let's go this way then.
Yeah.
Let's
Let's
first
talk
talk about
about
Witcher.
Fallout 4
Why
and
is
why.
Witcher our number one game? Why is Witcher? So
I think we should save Witcher for last. We should go through the games that aren't number one and decide why they're in their place, and
all right. So
then argue
So
for the.
Fallout 4 is number two. Why is Fallout 4 the second best game? Who wants to start?
Um.
It's got a
Okay.
ton of content, hundreds of hours. Most of it's fun.
All right, let's do it this way.
That's fair. All of
Earth
that's
is the
fair.
only one that voted Fallout 4 as number one. So, champion Fallout 4 Earth. Give us the elevator pitch? What makes it so great?
Well,
Why
it's
do you like it? How about that? Not what makes it great. Why do you love it?
I just love the environment. I love walking around and like this nuclear wasteland and just finding random shit everywhere. It doesn't feel empty. It feels like enormous and like a real. You go into these cities and it's just it's really different than Fallout, the previous Fallout's to me because it feels more real. I guess I don't know.
Right. Uh, I'm not gonna lie, man. I had Fallout. My list. I have Fallout pretty low. I had it at number 9.
Wow.
But everybody else had Fallout. Their number 2. Meaning I had it at 9. Bobby, Jeff, both had it at number 2, and Earth obviously had it at number 1.
So, Mike, what was your number 8?
Arkham Knight,
Okay, 7.
Ori and the Blind Forest,
Okay, 6,
City Skyline,
6, 5.
Metal Gear Solid 5.
All right, I'm all stop. No, wait. Okay, so I'm curious. I'm curious about something. What science made Metal Gear Solid 5 number 3 in the total list?
That it had votes, mid level votes from 3 people in the group.
Oh, oh, I didn't realize that Earth voted for Metal Gear
No,
Solid.
Earth didn't.
No,
Me,
Oh,
I had it on my list. You had it on your.
yeah.
No, you don't have it on your list. Oh,
No,
so
no,
only
no,
me
no,
and
no. It's
only
not
me
on
and
my list.
Bobby had it, but we have it pretty high each. Is the only thing.
Okay, okay, that works.
so I like to talk about Fallout first
All right, go
because
for
we
it.
never had a cast since it came out.
You're
So,
actually right because you
so-
bastards could never get your shit together.
but but I
It's
really
true.
enjoy Fallout 4. I love going back and playing it. I don't think I've played as much as Earth, but I've played like probably 100 and something hours of the game. I even re-rolled my character. Um, I think it's as fun as I would say as fun as Skyrim is. Uh, but the problem, I mean, the reason it's not number one is because I was expecting an evolution in the game. I know I've said that before, but I expected it to be. I hoped for what The Witcher did, which was to have seamless environments, which was something I hoped that would happen in this generation anyway,
All right.
and it did with The Witcher. Fallout didn't do that, and that was kind of a disappointment. But what the other disappointment that I had, and I could have lived with that, was that the AI, other than combat, the AI just didn't live up to it didn't evolve either. Like I was expecting more from especially they were using uh you know this gen of consoles as the base level rather than like the 360 or the PS3 developed for. So I was expecting some, instead of a graphical improvement, other than things being seamless, I was expecting more of an improvement over the AI and how the world would change based on your interaction with it, and none of that happened. It was is very much like Fallout 3 and New Vegas in that way. And while I still enjoy the game because those games are good and those are fun and this is a new experience in that environment, it it just, because it didn't deliver that, I had to knock it down
Right.
from game of the year. It's still like I still have like the same kind of fun I have with it that I do with The Witcher, but when I play The Witcher, sometimes I forget that I'm actually playing a game. Uh, you know, and I feel like I'm playing a quest in like some sort of story, and you're never breaking broken out of the world. Uh, well, when you're doing that.
All right.
Anyway, I'll talk more about The Witcher later.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I mean, I have it low because I didn't care for it. I couldn't. I found it very difficult to get into. If I'm guessing I'm 30 hours in, and it never gripped me like Skyrim did, or definitely not like how Witcher did. I just never actually got to the point where I gave a shit about what was going on, or that I ever wanted to really play. Like, besides that first day where I was like, oh shit, I just want to play Fallout 4. When I finally got my hands on Fallout 4, I was like, all right, this is more Fallout, which I thought I wanted. Then I realized that I'm totally okay without. It's not a bad game. Obviously, Bethesda does good work. I like their shit. I love Skyrim, and me and Jeff actually spoke about this the other day. I'm sure one day I'll be like, I should play some more Fallout 4, and then it'll click, and I'll be fucking obsessed with it for 3 weeks. It just hasn't. Maybe there's too many other good games out right now. That moment didn't happen for me. That's all. Um, yeah. I guess we can
What
talk
about
about.
Jeff?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So I mean, I think I'm sort of in the middle. I'm somewhere between Mike and Earth, or maybe somewhere between Bobby and Earth, really. So I, I think I've explained it this way before. So like, if Witcher 3 is a crazy night out, then to me, Fallout 4 is sort of like a cozy night in. And what I mean by that is like Witcher 3 was, I don't know, man. I couldn't stop playing that game. It's so fucking good. Like I just couldn't get away from it. You can ask my wife. She probably was very annoyed by it. I would come
Yeah,
home,
I have the same
after I got
problem.
it, like for like the first month or maybe even more than that after I got it. And I just all I wanted to do was play Witcher 3. And I would stay up fucking till all hours of the night and go to work tired as shit and play that game over and over and over again. I even bought DLC and I never buy DLC. And I played the fuck out of the DLC and the DLC is excellent. So I mean, I don't know that I can. I think Bobby is much more aware of the reasons that he likes or dislikes things. But what I can tell you about Witcher 3 is that I just was totally addicted to it. It was very exciting to play. It's gorgeous. It's interesting. I like the characters. I mean, I just love it. I really do. I think that was a great game. And to Fallout 4's credit, I think it is a great game. But kind of like what Mike said, it just hasn't really clicked with me yet. And I think if I play it long enough, it might. And I think there is a ton of content there. And when I do play it, and when I don't fast travel around, and I just walk around and explore, I find shit that I find really interesting, and I enjoy it. But it takes a lot of time, first of all, and unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time. So like something I didn't get to say in the beginning was I've been traveling and like we're trying to buy a house. So like there's just a lot of shit going on in life, and it's hard to sit down and play a game for like 3 hours, and that's what I want to do with Fallout. Is I want to sit down and play for 3 4 hours and really dive into it, and I can't do that. So part of the reason maybe I didn't get that into it is because I don't get that much time to play it. But also, it does feel like same old Fallout, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I love Fallout, but I mean, I don't know.
That might
It just
actually
didn't
weigh
grab.
into mine as well. Now that you mention it, like obviously I have a very young daughter, and time is like one of those things that I don't have a lot of, and I probably don't have the time to really dedicate to Fallout. But no, that's not true because somehow I find a way to raid every week. So I take it back. Fucking
Well,
I
asshole.
also, well, I'd like
so
to add to something that you said, Jeff. Uh, you said something like you want to play it for 3 hours or an hour. Like one of the problems that I had, and this might be what you guys are encountering, but when I first played it, I didn't like not enjoy it, but I did get kind of bored after you do that first area, the Concord, where you meet that Minuteman guy who helps you build the
yeah,
first outpost.
That's what happened to me.
After
I
that, I
got
went,
bored.
yeah, like I after that area, I started to explore a bit, and I went in a couple different directions, and it took me forever to encounter something. Um, and I feel like at the beginning of the game, it's not dense enough with encounters that I mean I'm not expecting every something around every bush, right? But I felt like there were some times where it was like a good 30 minutes when I didn't run into something or some sort of event happen. I was literally just walking around.
Right.
And when I did that in Fallout 3 and New Vegas, I would encounter something or discover something. I know there would be times where I would just walk around for like 30 minutes and find nothing, but that was like well into my game session. Like I
Right.
was
Right.
hundreds of hours in. At the beginning of a game, it's important to get someone engaged, otherwise they'll get bored. And I felt like that might be where you guys were at because I felt the same way when I first played it.
yeah, that's probably true. I haven't made it to Diamond City yet. So I'm still exploring. I've only done like 3 main quests, but I've done a bunch of side quests. And you know what's funny? I think this conversation exactly encompasses the conversations we've had about this game since it came out.
Yeah.
And Earth's points are, oh, I don't know that he's made these points specifically, but what I took away from his points was okay, Bethesda kind of stays true to their core fan base, and they create a game that has tons of lore and tons of shit to find, and big giant underground weird areas where you can find stuff that you would never see if you fast traveled everywhere and didn't go looking for something random. And like the people that love that formula love this game. But I think there's some sort of evolution that happens with gamers, and Witcher 3 hits it. It's accessible, it's beautiful, it's exciting from very early on. And that's like, okay, that's some of that's kind of cheap, but it's done really, really well. So I think, you know, maybe it's because they want to preserve their art, which I totally respect,
Right.
but it's difficult, I guess, now to do something like that and, like Bobby said, capture people's imaginations, like keep people engaged from the get go.
Right.
And you know what? I've played some games that started slow and then got really, really, really good.
Oh, me
Like
too.
30 hours in or 20 hours in or something, and then it was like mind blowing. But it's hard to keep people engaged like that nowadays. And so maybe it's not fair for me to say I don't have enough time to get into it because that sucks. But I don't know. I mean, maybe that's where we're going with games, you know?
I'll tell you what.
I don't know.
I'll say one more thing before we move off of Fallout. Like, so you know, there was this. We talked a lot about this, you know, offline or in our chat before. You know, we didn't podcast, but you know, the thing was like, all right, you know, you got to get to the next thing before the game kind of opens up. Get to Diamond City. So I did that. I went to Diamond City, and Diamond City was great. It looked great. I got in there, some interesting things happening entrance, and then there was a lot of new quest lines and stuff happening, and I still found myself like in Diamond City with all this new shit to do, like not giving a fuck. But you know what I'm gonna do?
Hmm.
I'm gonna play some Fallout 4. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what this conversation has given me. I'm gonna play some fucking Fallout 4. I'm gonna do it. While I was on vacation in
So,
Texas, I did fire it up and I had it on for 3 minutes. I'm like, nah, I don't have time for this, and I turned it off. So
well,
I'm
you
gonna play
had a
some
lot
more
of other
Fallout.
stuff to
There was
distract
a lot
you,
of
right?
stuff. Yeah,
Just Cause.
yeah. Just Cause was a major distraction, but that's all that game is a distraction. It is fun in small bursts, though.
I haven't quite gotten behind Just Cause yet. Uh, I'm not saying it's a bad game, but I haven't found all the fun in it yet.
I'm not saying it's a bad game.
Um,
I'm not even saying it's a good one. It's just a game that it's just a game is the thing. That's all it is.
yeah,
It's all that game's good for is playing. Like they're like if you're going there for the story, you've gone the wrong place. If you're going there,
yeah.
yeah, if you're going there for anything
So
besides the game,
are you saying Just Cause isn't a cause you can get behind?
I'm saying I like it just cause it's crazy.
It might have been better.
Anybody? Anybody? Yeah. Okay. I'm in town all week. All right. I guess let's talk about Batman, Arkham Knight.
Oh, Batman, yeah.
That's like
You know,
that's like
I'm
our
finally
overall thing.
glad that I'm. I'd have to say that I am so glad that Jeff eventually got it for the PS4 and played it.
Right. Me too.
Yeah, so maybe we can talk about that a little bit. So I bought Batman on PC, pre-order, and I got it day one and installed it on my PC, which is relatively good
Right.
specs wise. So I mean, I have a decent video card, I have 16 gigs of RAM,
Right.
processor sucks, whatever. But I mean, it's respectable, and it plays Witcher 3 pretty goddamn well.
Yeah.
And the shit was so broken. It's just like, I mean, I'm laughing. So literally, it was laughably broken. Like, it's so bad. It was so bad. And actually, I think I still
Yeah,
have it in Steam.
we got videos of the brokenness of it
We
too.
never
Oh
uploaded
yeah,
it, did we?
yeah.
Yeah, they're
I
up there.
think Bobby did. Yeah, I didn't, and then Bobby did.
I put them on a playlist though, so they're there. I mean, they should
Cool.
be there. That's a piece of history, man.
I thought they were still hidden for some reason.
Uh, well, I don't think they're hidden. Maybe. I don't think they're hidden.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I'm into this. I like I like when
I
we're
Yeah.
hate
videos up.
those. I hate those videos so much. I was like tired and I had been drinking and I was like falling asleep.
No, like
Like
I
Bobby
like them
listened to
because
them and he said
I
they were pretty
watched.
good.
Oh,
So,
I watched them because there's some parts you're like, that's pretty fucking cool, and they're like, oh man, so cool, and then the frame rate just chugs, and you're just like,
oh,
this is like watching, like a flip book. It was really bad.
it's so
Oh
bad.
man.
So,
Uh,
but Bobby's right. I'm so glad I bought it for PS4 because I really fucking enjoyed that game.
That game is phenomenal on
I still
PS4,
have a
man. It
bunch of
runs
shit
great.
that someday I will do. Yeah, someday I will still go back to that game and finish it. I finished the main quest line. I did not finish all of the stuff that you can do on the little wheel,
Well,
but it's a great game. It really is.
well, that's my
yeah.
complaint about that game. Uh, dear Rocksteady, okay. Next time you make a fucking game, that you guys make good games, so go for it. When you decide to add something to your game, like for example, the Riddler challenges, for fuck's sake, man, do not add 10,000 million of them. Like, you know what? Fucking, like, 50 or 100, even 100's excessive. Like, 50 of those things would have been fucking plenty. No. They make you do
How many of
500,000
them
of those.
are there?
Huh? I think there's 253,
I
not.
was about
there's like 234
oh
of
my
them,
gosh.
if I remember
Yeah,
right. I
it's
played it
an
recently.
absurd amount, like an amount
So
that should not happen.
speaking of absurd amounts, uh, so when I played the game, there was obviously a lot of Batmobile, but when you get all that Batmobile stuff out of the way,
Right?
the rest of the game, like chasing the criminal, like being able to pick which guys you're targeting, uh, like which of the criminals you want to go down, like after that Firestar dude and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh,
Yeah, that stuff was interesting.
Penguin, whatever. That was stuff was fun, although some of it was kind of repetitive.
Right.
It
Sure.
was still fun,
It
but
was. I like that stuff.
and believe it or not, I actually, even though the Batmobile stuff was a little too heavy, I actually it didn't take that much of the game away from me. I still thought it was great. But you hit the nail on the head for me. What they really fucked up with was that Riddler shit.
Oh
If
my
they had
god.
cut that down to like 50, that would have been fine.
It was
I
so
would have
bad.
been still annoyed by 50. I would have been annoyed by 50 by itself,
Right.
but I would have did it. Like I would have been like, all right, let's just do this and got it done. But like fucking, well, actually, if you do the Catwoman stuff, that was enough. Actually, the one where you have to save Catwoman and you do those, like that
Oh,
should have been the end of it there.
the regular Riddler. Oh yeah, that was like the Riddler stuff. That was the first round of
Yeah,
Riddler stuff.
yeah,
Nah,
that should have been the end of it right there,
should have been
and then
right
the
there.
game would have been
They're
perfect.
like,
No, well, not perfect. Batmobile would have been too much, but it wouldn't have ruined the game. Like I don't feel like it ruined the game.
right.
I felt like they just put it on thick.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, the Batmobile. Yeah, whatever. That's subjective, you know. Like some people actually like that Batmobile shit a lot. I hated it, but you know, whatever. I hate a lot of things.
I didn't like the tank fights, but I actually really like the Batmobile itself.
Right.
I like having it, but and the races were not fun. Uh,
The races were
but
really bad.
having the Batmobile while you're in combat and being able to use it and run and shoot those fucking stun things at guys and jump it over bridges and shit,
Right.
that's awesome.
Yes, that stuff
But
was good.
those the tank missions and the races were not. I mean, a couple tank missions wouldn't have been too bad, but they literally put it like every time you're like, "Yeah, I'm Batman," they put one of those tank missions in the game. You're like, "Fuck, dude."
It's like you're sitting there. You're sitting there. You're like, yeah, I'm Batman, man. Fuck yeah. I'm fucking Batman. Yeah, even with all its faults, which it had many, I like that game a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
I did
I
everything
agree.
and I did every side quest except the stupid Riddler challenge. I did the
I
stuff
did the same thing.
yeah, I did the stuff where you had to rescue Catwoman. I did all of that shit. Just
I think I
I
played one Catwoman mission, and then I was
I even went so far as to buy those little DLC packs, the $2 ones that add like each character like their own little story.
oh, you did?
Yeah, they're only $2 each, so I was like,
I
I
didn't even know
got
they
them as they
existed. To
came
be
out.
honest.
Yeah, they're not like terribly great, but for $2, they add a little bit more to the game. So I was
Right,
like, all
right.
right, no big deal.
Huh. Interesting. Very, very interesting.
There's like 5 of them out now, or something like that.
I kind of want to buy one now just to see what the fuck they're about.
They're pretty short. Just keep in mind they're $2 when you buy one.
So
So like,
is it like a mission?
it's like okay. So there's the Batgirl one,
Right.
which is kind of a little tiny story arc, where she saves her father. Like she saves Jim Gordon,
Okay.
and Robin's in it too. And then there's one with like the Red Hood, which I think is the Arkham Knight. Before he's the Arkham Knight, which is it's not that great. It's just like combat as him, and then there's a little tiny story of him fighting the Black Skull. So it's very bite sized. It's like a Happy Meal toy, if you could call it something. But it's $2. It's a little bit of fun for like a couple, maybe a couple hours at the most.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. I like Batman. I think Batman's a good game. Is it perfect? No, but what is really besides The Witcher?
and Mass Effect 1.
And Mass Effect One is clearly one of the greatest games ever made.
So what's the next item
The next
on
item
the
would
list?
be Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh man.
I like that game a lot. I like that game a shit lot. I don't know. I think me and you were the only ones that played it. So I don't know. I know
Yeah.
Jeff owns
I
it,
don't think
right?
Jeff has it, but he hasn't played it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought it recently, and I haven't
Typical
played
You
Jeff
it.
fashion.
really should play it. I don't want to talk too much about it since Jeff hasn't played it. Although, I mean, it can't really ruin the game. But as out of respect, I don't want to.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
but
It's a good game.
the I mean, I would have put it higher on the list, but as far as like story and how it felt at the end of the game, like how it felt like it was missing something. And it's apparent based on the whole thing we talked about with Kojima starting his own studio earlier, how you could kind of see where in the game everything kind of, you know,
Right.
takes a dive, where they basically like said, "Hey, you don't get to make the game anymore." Um,
Like there was a point in the game where you
but
actually saw that cut off.
no, I mean, I'm exaggerating a bit,
Oh, okay.
but it's just you could kind of sense like this is where the story ended and they couldn't develop more. Like
Yeah,
it,
I think I got to
it
the point where you're talking about where they're like, all right, here, and then they reuse some stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
and a lot of the missions are very repetitive.
that's where I
However,
stopped playing actually.
though, I did play a lot of that game. I'm sure I played a lot more than you have.
I'm sure you did
Um,
because you were playing the online
yeah,
stuff too.
I played the online stuff a bit, but I mostly just like I really personally the thing about the game is it's literally 80s GI Joe action hero the game realized in like infiltrate a base any way you want, literally any way you want, and you could find fun creative ways to do that. It's a toy box.
Right,
It's
right.
like a Metal Gear toy box, and I just love doing it. I just love doing that scenario, picking a time to go in, choosing a different loadout, saying I'm going to go in with just this weapon and see if I can take this particular outpost out that's armed with these guys with just this. Like I liked doing that. Um, the gameplay itself is 100% solid. Uh, I think Jeff hasn't really played Metal Gear, so like
Yeah,
I
not at
think I've
all.
said this. Yeah, I've said this earlier. doesn't matter. Just play the game. Don't worry too much about the story. Just have fun with what the game gives you to have fun with, and you'll enjoy the game. It's just a lot of fun having the tools that they give you at their disposal.
Yeah, it's a stupid fun game. Earth, you didn't play any Metal Gear, did you?
Negative.
Earth's like, fuck off.
Playing Mass Effect
He's playing
4.
Mass Effect 6 right now.
Mass Effect out 4.
Alright, so I guess the next one, due to science, is, again, I think is only you and I played, was Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Um, I'll let you start
I
because you really
fucking
like
love,
that game.
I
You
fucking
played it.
love that game. I think that game was fucking phenomenal. Yeah, that game is nuts, man. Like, I played the crap out of it. My only complaint with that game is that it took way too fucking long to I mean sorry, not too long, it too short, like, which it wasn't short. I think I spent 20 hours, but that thing, man, I all the optional tombs and found stuff, and I can't recommend that game enough.
I you were gonna send that to me when you're done,
Yeah,
and I
and
just said,
you're like,
"Fuck
fuck it, I'm
it."
gonna buy it.
Yeah, I wanted to play it,
Right.
and I gotta say, Crystal Dynamics makes really good fucking looking games. Like that game is phenomenal looking. Uh, that game's probably got best game hair of the year.
Didn't
Um,
the first Tomb Raider also get some game hair awards, or had some? There was some drama with the hair.
well, I don't. I think I don't know about the 360 version. I mean, I played it, but I know that the PS4 version of it, they redid that. In the PC version, it had something with like it had hair technology or something, like an option you can turn on. Uh, but
Hair
it looked,
effects or something.
yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, sure, but yeah, I mean, maybe Square shared something because like Final Fantasy 15 demo, they got some pretty high quality hair. I don't want to say cool looking because it's stupid anime hair, but
Yeah, those guys.
but in
Those
Tomb
guys
Raider,
are, yeah,
but it does look realistic.
right.
But that's the same thing as in Tomb Raider. That the hair for at least Laura and maybe some of the other the main characters look really good. Like it's like wow, they're getting really close to making this look fucking real. Um, Other than that, I really like. I did this in the first one, but I feel like more compelled to do it in this one because you seem to get more benefit from it.
Yeah,
But I
there's
really
more
like
perks to
doing the optional
stuff.
tombs.
Yeah, they give you
Yeah,
some really good perks later on. Yeah, I like that game. I highly recommend anybody that has an Xbox, and I guess a PC. PC I think is coming very soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Before PS4?
Oh, the PS4 is not coming
Oh,
until like the end of the year.
yeah.
the end
I
of
was
next year.
gonna.
Yeah, well, sorry, yeah, the end of 16.
Oh, that's
Mm.
crazy.
I was gonna boycott it because of that. I was just gonna like, nope, not gonna play it till the PS4 version comes out. But then I was like, then I thought to myself like, why?
Why the fuck
Why
am
am I
this to
doing that?
myself?
I'm not punishing anybody but myself.
Why do I hate
So I think
myself?
you guys are saying like, oh, this game looks incredibly good. That might be the first time I've heard anybody say that so enthusiastically about an Xbox One game.
I
No
think
offense to
Xbox
Xbox
One
One,
games look good.
I think
I
Halo 5, it's very low on all of our lists. Well, the two of us that have it, I guess. But Halo 5, on a technical level, is one of the most marvelous games I think I've seen in years, man. So you haven't seen it in person, have you, Jeff?
No. I've only seen videos.
So Halo 5 maintains a solid like 60 frames per second through the entire game. It never, ever hitches, ever. I can't think of
Oh
one scene.
man, I gotta get an Xbox.
I can't think of one scene where there were Halo 5 like stuttered. Can you, Bobby?
yeah,
Did you see it at all?
no, but here's the thing. It uses like resolution scaling for
Right.
everything, like
Yes.
for level of detail,
Yeah.
for shadows,
Yes.
and to
And
be
that's well
honest,
documented.
until like someone mentioned it, I didn't really notice it.
I didn't notice it. I
Um,
knew it was there because they
um,
talked about it, and I didn't notice it at all.
right. Now the thing is, I think the game looks good. It has I like the style of it. I don't think it looks good as, let's say, Destiny. I think Destiny has higher quality looking
Like
game,
assets.
but right, like texture wise and just like the overall models look like they put a lot more work behind them.
Right.
And the thing is, Halo 5, it's like I like that Destiny looks that way because it seems like Halo, but they broke away from it. But Halo 5 still feels very much like the style hasn't evolved. It still feels like Halo 4 or Halo 3.
Right.
It doesn't really they didn't really change much. The environments look a little they're higher detail, but they look the same.
Right.
And in a way not realistic or gritty like the way I feel Destiny. But frame rate's smooth and there's some giant shit moving around.
Yeah.
And sometimes a bunch of giant things
There's some
moving
scenes with a
around.
lot of crazy
So
shit happening, and that game just handles it beautifully.
yeah.
Like, yeah,
So
and multiplayer,
yeah.
like everything. That game is just like from a technical standpoint, a marvel, in my opinion. Like it just looks good and plays good.
I I would like developers to consider using that.
That technology. Can you hear me? I'm gonna lose you guys.
Uh,
I'm here.
Yeah, I think I lost you guys for a second.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Do we lose?
No, no. I think I went out for a second, but yeah, we're here.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
here.
So Halo 5. So now let me ask you guys. Assuming we just stick to the science list: Witcher, Fallout, Arkham Knight, Metal Gear, Rise of the Tomb Raider. What's our collective number six? Because let's. I mean, if I look at the votes, what else even got votes? Halo 5 got
Am I the
votes.
only person that voted for Rocket League?
You are the only Rocket League voter. Yes.
Oh, I forgot
That
all
Rocket
about
League is
Rocket
so much
League.
fun.
Where do you
You
want
know
to put it?
what? I would throw a vote for Rocket League in there.
Where
I
at?
like Rocket League.
Above or behind Mario Maker?
Hmm. I would put it above Mario.
All right. Rocket
And I
League.
did. I mean, I'm a little biased because I didn't pay for Rocket League. It was free.
Oh yeah,
Right.
So
that was also that was a free PSN game, wasn't it? It's on
it,
Xbox One now
yeah.
too.
You're biased plus or minus
Plus, I
I'm
think.
biased for Rocket League, probably
because
because
it
it
was
was.
free.
But at the same
Hmm.
time, that kind of makes it even more awesome. And I'm not sure if that's fair, but I paid $60 for Mario Maker. I think I would feel like I would put it higher just to justify it paying for it. But even then, I that doesn't really matter to me because I actually when I played Rocket League, I feel like playing it right now, thinking about it. It's stupid fun. You only need to play like one game of it to get your fill of it, and you're not like, oh, I got my game of Rocket League. You're like, that was fun, and then you move on
It
with your
was weird.
life,
I
or
liked
you can
Rocket
play
League.
it for hours.
I liked Rocket
Yeah.
League, but I never got that. Like, I was listening to another podcast earlier, and they had a guest on from one of the popular gaming sites, a GameSpot journalist, and the girl was saying how like that's all she wants to do, and she loves that game, and everybody in the office like I don't what I feel like I've always felt about Rocket League like I'm missing something, and I do think it's fun. I think it's if you have a couple of friends to play together, it's fun. But like I don't see the obsession. Like there's no
Yeah.
there's no
Well,
anything.
I don't have an obsession with the game at all. I just think it's
Yeah.
fun to play when you play it, and I actually, it is way more fun to play it when you play it with somebody. When me and Jeff played it during that, I think the first podcast,
Yes, I remember that.
uh,
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun, and I think we should all play that game one day. We all have PS4s, and we all have that game, except for Earth. You should get a goddamn PS4
And Rocket League.
someday.
I will when it's like 150.
If you, I
The PS3 is
If
not
you
even on
buy a
fucking 50, I don't
PS4,
think.
yeah, if you ever buy a PS4, I'll just buy you Rocket League
There you go,
to
free
Can
game.
you wait?
congratulate you.
Weren't they gonna add cross-platform play?
I heard that, but I don't know what happened with that.
Because it is for PC. So if they have cross-platform, you can just buy it for Christmas.
I still hold to my agreement
Dude, that's
though.
true. PS4
Earth
people
if Earth
can
buys
play.
PS,
PS4 people can play PC people. He's right.
Really?
Yeah.
You just look it up.
No, I
is
remember.
that up
What?
now?
No, I remember. That's all. It's the Xbox One. It's not, but yeah, that's a cross-platform game.
No, but I thought there was an update that was supposed to come out, and I don't know if the update came out that did that yet.
Is Rocket
Yeah, that's what I
League
remember too.
is Rocket League cross-platform? Uh, PS4 and PC players can play online together in Rocket League,
What? That's pretty
and
legit.
that's from June, man. It's real. And even this article says,
Well, we need to test that, and
I feel like
that
we
needs to
do.
should.
happen.
Yeah, but Earth doesn't have it, does he?
You could get
No.
it, and that game's cheap anyway. One day it'll be on sale for like 20 cents.
Yeah, Steam sale next week. It'll probably be on sale for 45 cents.
Not that low, but I'll get it next week.
You promise?
Maybe.
Yeah. That's what I figured.
I may be maybe promise should not even be a promise.
I may promise that, maybe, but kind of probably not.
It's possible that I will promise that later.
It's possible that I'll maybe promise, but probably maybe not.
Wait, see, I was gonna get it, and then you're like, "Do you promise?" And now I'm like tied to it, and I'm like, "Do I want to be tied to
See,
this?" Like,
that's what's wrong with you right now, Earth. You can't commit. You have commitment issues.
I think no.
That's
I
true.
think the problem is that he is committed, but he's committed to the one game he wants to play, which is Fallout. And if it's not that, it's Mass Effect or whatever other game he wants to commit to.
Right.
So I think like the next game Earth's going to commit to is probably Deus Ex.
Deus Ex.
yeah,
Alright.
that's actually the one game I'm looking forward to right
All right,
now.
so check this out. Right now, our list is up to 6. We haven't spoken about Witcher 3 yet, and we're about 5 minutes away from being an hour long, and I kind of need to cut this short. So we have an option. We can cut this off, call this episode, what are we on, 7? 8? Whatever.
Wow,
We're
7
on,
episodes.
yeah, we're on one of these episodes. I gotta check which episode we're on. I should know this shit. And then we have another podcast this weekend or next and continue our list, or we can talk about Witcher 3 right now. What's up?
I think
say
we
let's
should
do it.
finish it up. I think we should.
Yeah, I
finish
feel
it
like
up.
there's really not that much to say about Witcher 3 anymore, anyways. It
Yeah,
should
we
be quick.
probably by passing we've said probably everything there is to say.
Well, I propose that we talk about The Witcher.
Right?
And then I have a fair. We end the podcast with some Xenoblade Chronicles X information.
All right, who's gonna start The Witcher? I think we already spoke about Witcher plenty. Is the thing. Yeah, I love The Witcher. It's pretty. It's fun. Big world. Good story. Good combat. Lots of items. Lots of shit. Lots of loot. Lots of monsters. It's not easy. Like I can't think of, besides a couple of frame rate issues, on the PS4 version, I can't think of a real problem with that game.
I love that game as well. And if you really want to know everything I think about it, just watch every other cast that we have ever had, because
Ever.
I've mentioned it one way or another in every cast. I think.
I think that game comes up a lot. Yes.
I agree with everything these guys said, and there's also a lot of boobies in it.
Dude, there's an alarming amount of boobies in there.
There's like so much boobies in that game.
Like a magnificent amount of boobies in that game.
There is quite a plethora of them.
It appeals very heavily to the 13-year-old me.
The
Yes.
13-year-old male.
Even the like regular NPC like town ladies that have nothing to do with the story have pretty large breasts.
Yeah. It's the ultimate booby game.
Yep.
It's basically a boob simulator.
It's essentially a booby trap, as it traps you in its boobies.
Man, I wish we had video because I would show you what my wife's face looks like right now.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something else. I wish we
No.
had video. I was gonna show you my wife. So I'm like, what the fuck is this conversation gonna turn into?
No, she just thinks it's weird that I'm talking about video games and boobies.
I think it's funny that all she can hear is your side of it, and all you keep saying is boobies.
That's what they're
Oh,
called,
man.
right? That's the technical term
That's
for
what
them.
someone calls it.
Booby.
Yeah. All right. All right. So right now we got Witcher, Fallout, Arkham Knight, Metal Gear, Rise of Tomb Raider, Rocket League. Some other games that got votes from multiple people: Ori and the Blind Forest,
Oh, excellent,
Halo
excellent game.
5. What else? I think those are the only ones that got more votes. Oh, no, I kicked Mario Maker off. Mario Maker did not get any votes besides Bobby's.
I also added a Mario game to my list, but
Mario Kart 8? Why? Oh
yeah.
yeah, you took it off because we took it off because it wasn't a 2015 game. Why'd you even put
Why
that
did
on
you
there?
put it on the list?
I sort of just felt bad for Nintendo. I don't think anybody was gonna vote for it. I mean, honestly though, like nobody, what, like nobody wants their Wii U. Maybe Bobby because he's playing Xenoblade.
You know what's funny? Like I can probably buy another game. I was thinking of buying another game right now, and
Xenoblade?
still no. I was thinking about buying another game right now, and still I'm like, I can get Xenoblade, or I can get a game I know I'll like.
So
What game?
All right, break down Xenoblade for us, please, Bobby. I know you did a
okay,
little bit in the
so
chat.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
I just don't think I just don't think you're gonna like it, and I can tell you, I'll tell you why.
All right.
Um,
I like
I've
the
played a
word.
bit of it. I do enjoy. There's a game in there, and
Right.
it's fun,
Okay.
but it's buried underneath Japanese RPG cliches. Unfortunately, like some of the old '90s and early 2000 JRPG cliches that need to go away. I think.
Expand on that. You mean
I
like
don't.
spending 6 hours just talking to characters besides doing a fucking thing like that?
No. There's actually there is a lot of text. I wouldn't say it's like walls of it, but uh, it's like the dialogue should be spoken for everything. I
Right.
just feel like when you're sitting there reading text, it just like you just want to do nothing but get out of doing that and playing the game. Like
Right.
that's why I'd
It's
rather.
like I end
That's
up
like one of the
stuff
things.
like that. I end up just clicking shit over and over again just to get out of
And
it.
that's what I end up doing too. Like I end up just skimming it, not actually reading the whole thing, just to make sure I don't miss some detail that's going to help on the quest.
Right.
But I'm not actually giving a fuck what's going on.
Right.
The other thing is the individual little quests. The stories aren't that good. You know, they're that typical Japanese anime fetch quests, JRPG fetch quests, and
You're these teenagers
stuff
that are
like
super
that.
skinny and you have to change the world, save the world.
Uh, Something like that. Not. I mean, the story's not the idea behind the story is not bad. It's just done in the anime way, and not. It's not like that exactly, but it does have those anime tropes. Like there's a young 13-year-old girl in your crew that is somehow some super mechanic, and it's like, come on, you know.
Did you get
I
your
mean,
mech
that
suit
was
yet?
no that I'm not nowhere near that far in the.
How much hours
I
did you
did
say
play
you're at?
like I think I'm about like 25 hours in.
Fuck, and you don't have the
Um,
mech yet?
nope. Apparently
Jesus.
that's like 30 or something hours into the game. But here's where the big problem with the game. Okay, outside of all that, because even with that, sometimes the JRPG could still be fun if you don't take it seriously.
Right.
But this is where it becomes a little like you become like, okay, why? First, most of the game's music isn't too bad. Some of the battle music has like lyrics over it that are a little cheesy, but they don't ruin everything. It's not any worse than, let's say, like Blue Dragon, you know.
Yeah.
But I kind of like Blue
I think Blue
Dragon's
Dragon had
little
pretty good. Yeah, I
cheesy
think Blue Dragon's
metal.
music was all right. Yeah.
Yeah. But in this one, when you go to town, there's a theme for the day and the theme for the night, and they don't change. They're different, and they both have the. I mean, I want you to go to YouTube and look it up and listen to it.
We had some technical problems. Yeah, I kind of lost audio and fucked everything up. Where were we?
Uh, where were we, Jeff?
I almost Shat-Rocketed.
What is Shat-Rocketed?
I don't fully know.
Are you drinking?
I think Bobby can explain. No,
I
actually,
said that. I
I
said
had
that
a
in
drink.
DGX chat. In DGX chat. Uh, and I was like, Jeff, say that to your wife.
So as naturally as I could, without sounding like I was making anything up.
I almost Shat-Rocketed. All right, it's pretty
Yeah.
good. Did she look at you weird?
She just goes, "What?" It was subtle.
Yeah.
Did Irf have to leave?
No, I think he's here.
He's still there.
Oh,
I'm still here.
Concerned.
I think we were trying to finish up our list. Oh no, you were talking to me about
So
why I would hate Xenoblade Chronicles X.
yeah. So okay. So here's the other thing: this game's got no direction. So you're literally. I mean, there's quests, but it's like the old JRPG stuff. You really have to like look for them, and then they don't tell you where to go sometimes, and just and then the first quests that you get, like
Talk to
off of
everybody in a
like,
town until you find the guy that triggers the next thing.
not exactly that,
That's the worst old school
but
Japanese
something like that.
RPG thing.
But so basically, you could get these quests from a billboard as well, than from going to a character. And but the problem is that they don't pace how they give them to you. So the game plays a lot like the original Xenoblade, which plays a lot like, let's say, Final Fantasy 12 or an MMO, right? But a single player type. And they send you on these quests that send you far as hell away from the town that you start in. And enemies, like there's these huge enemies that are in your way. And it turns out that it's just that you're not supposed to do those quests yet. But then why did they fucking give them to you to begin with? So
Right.
you deal with all this crap, and then you're also dealing with how the fucking game works. So for like the first 16 hours of the game,
Oh
I
god.
didn't know I could zoom the camera out. I didn't know I could zoom the camera out. I was like, oh, that helps to know that. There's also like various other control options. Like the game doesn't explain anything to you. They actually expect you. And this may sound kind of stupid saying it out loud, but they actually expect you to go through the manual and read it instead of letting the game teach you while you play it.
So I'm gonna say this about that idea. Like, it's one of those things where you can't have it both ways because Japanese games are also notorious for forcing you through these long, annoying, unskippable tutorials, and I hate that too. So now a game says, you know what? Mike complains for every fucking forced tutorial that takes 6 hours because not only I'm okay with the tutorial, but those JRPGs tend to make the tutorial last 6 years. So
Well,
they take the tutorial out, and then I feel like I'd complain about it.
so here's the thing. I like the game, but the game is like a combination of, like, let's say Final Fantasy 12 and the original Xenoblade. Like it's a combination of that, but
Those are both games I like very much.
but it's it's got those tropes I'm talking about and those problems.
Right.
What I would really like is if they made a game in the future and adopted more Western gameplay dynamics, like more of what developers here do. I think they did it like, people call it simplifying and they're dumbing it down like they did with Mass Effect, but you know what? when you go back and play a game like like an old Japanese game, or a game like this one that uses those old gameplays designs that are I just think they're archaic to me now.
Hmm.
You realize, like, you know what? They're actually just letting you get at the game more quickly than going through some stupid bullshit that's more about they're letting you play the game while you learn
Well, that's what
to play
dumbing
the
it down
game.
is. That's why people complain about dumbing it down. They're making it more simple. Well, no shit, dipshit. We all don't have time to just fucking click 30 things to open a box. Yeah,
Who
I
do we lose?
it's Jeff. I yeah, I still want to play it. I don't want to buy it at full price, and I'm afraid it'll never go down in price. So it's one of those things. I'll catch it on sale next year or something. Maybe pick it up. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
Forza
I would.
Six.
Yeah, I will say I recommend don't getting it. I there's some multiplayer stuff to it, but I just don't see you playing it enough
Yeah,
to get to that.
yeah,
Like,
certainly.
I think they could fix the game. There's some things that they could do to fix the game, and then maybe with an expansion they could do something, or some DLC they could do something to fix the game. I know that sounds like, why would they fix the game? Like, they shouldn't have to make a DLC to fix a game,
Right.
but like, they could make some like a DLC that's basically geared toward the beginning of the game rather than later, to make the beginning of the game more enjoyable.
Right.
And then they could just patch certain things in. And here's the other big problem. Even though you could play on the Pro controller, you still need the gamepad, because the map and all the fast travel options and some of the other things that you do to, like, you could put down probes in different areas of the continents that you visit, that let you fast travel there or mine for resources and stuff. You need to use the gamepad, so you could never
There's no
actually play the
on-screen menu
game
for that.
without the gamepad. No, no, and there's no reason it can't be on screen, because if you play only on the gamepad,
It goes
you
on
have to
screen.
do that anyway.
Right.
Yeah. So they, for some reason, if you're playing with the Pro controller, you can't bring up the map
They're
on
like
the TV
they're
screen.
like, nah, bitch, you
And
gotta
I'll
use these
right,
gamepad.
right. I'll tell you right now, though, if someone's listening to this and somehow they tell us, "Oh, yeah, there is a way you should have did this," the game makes it completely oblivious as how to do it. I've tried a million things, like a million, and I'm telling you, like, they've got things like where it's like you have to hold, like, the left button, the right shoulder button down, and then you press one of the face buttons to do, like, to select targets. That's how you select targets. But they don't ever tell you that's how you
That
do
game
that.
sounds fucking awful. It's gone from like looking cool to looking okay to looking kind of bad. Now, listening to you talk about it sounds fucking horrible.
It's not. It's just it's designed. It just feels like they didn't do play testing. Like, I just can't believe they didn't they play test
No,
the
they
game.
play tested, just
Like,
not in this
any
country.
folk, I don't think. I just don't think. Yeah, they didn't get a focus group uh for over here.
Well, that's the
And
thing.
it really, it makes sense. It's like, it's not in mind for here.
That's the thing. They know they won't spend a bunch of money to do that because they know that the people who buy that game here are the hardcore people who are into Japanese games, and the amount of people, the amount of mainstream people they get from localizing it better is probably minimal because it's on the Wii U. One, B, it's not it's not a Final Fantasy game that gamers just know by brand. So they're like, all right, throw fucking English on it and fucking put it out US, and then we'll sell, you know, 50 to 100,000. I don't know what they expect from that thing, and then it'll be fine. And they're like, all right, cool. I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
it's
they know who their audience is, and their audience are
I
people who
still
can deal
think,
with that shit.
yeah, I still think it's a good game. I I don't think it's a great game by any stretch of like, I'd be playing it now if it was great, but I'm not.
All right, so
But it's still fun. I mean, but I still look at it like, kind of like FF12, though. So that's kind of why I like it. You fight these huge
no,
fucking monsters.
FF12. No, hold on.
The
No,
world
see,
is
that
pretty.
ruins that. That fucks up the illusion. FF12 is fucking great.
FF12 as in what you do when you fight monsters and you go
Like the
out
combat
in the
system
world
is
and
out of
explore it.
FF12.
No, just the experience of you going around and fighting monsters, like big monsters. In that sense, like in FF12, you had a lot of huge monsters to
Right.
fight, and this game definitely does not have a lack of huge monsters. There's some like really huge fucking monsters. It's actually like I'm like surprised they squeezed what they did out of the Wii U with the game. Um, I mean, the game is in 720p. Um, can't really tell. If you really know it and then you look for it, then you'll see it. But it doesn't really affect how it looks too much. Um, what I think really affects the way the game looks, though, are the characters, the environments, the monsters. They all look pretty good. Some of it's okay, and some of it's great. But the characters look dead in the eyes. They all look like that non-expressive anime 3D characters from like PlayStation 2 era. You know
Yeah,
what I
that
mean?
sucks.
Um, but all the monsters. So I don't know why they did that. Like they made the characters look generic and meh looking, but the faces look generic looking.
All
The
right.
characters look like anime or JRPG characters, and they look good. And they got some detail behind them, but the faces just look like they don't look expressive at all. Like you're not gonna find Witcher quality cutscenes. You're not gonna find Fallout quality cutscenes. You're gonna get PS2 quality JRPG cutscene out of it. That's what you're gonna see.
Right. All right. So this thing's gone way long. We had a technical difficulty. I'm pretty sure Jeff is falling asleep, and Earth is playing another
What?
video game, probably. Does anybody have any closing remarks?
No, I'm falling asleep too.
Um, wait, I do. Hang on.
He's like, I have it written down somewhere.
I almost, I almost shat-rocketed.
I was actually kind of hoping that you were like, "Wait, I do. Hang on," and then we were just gonna hear a stream of piss.
Sadly, I
Just
don't
the
think you can hear that on Discord because I've done that before and you guys didn't hear it at all.
oh
Oh,
what?
boo.
Yeah, so we used what did we use before? Something else, and that one had no like
Had no
No pee
audio filter.
filtering.
Yeah.
no, yeah, yeah, obviously.
Oh man, that would have been great though. Yeah, I got one more thing.
Well,
I'm sorry to disappoint.
well, to anyone listening, I thank you for listening. This is our game of the year stuff. We'll talk next week about more bullshit, but that's as close we get to a real list. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything, email me mor911@gmail.com. Thanks. Anybody? Motherfucker.